Good morning and thanks for joining us for Fox 25 News at 11. I'm Wayne Stafford and I hope you are staying dry today. We have had a lot of rain, a lot of storms. Even this morning we heard booming thunder. Danielle Davis is standing by right now, and Danielle, it's been a mess really for the past 24 hours. All right, thanks Danielle. Breaking overnight, one man is in critical condition after an officer-involved shooting near Northeast 23rd and MLK. Fox 25 Sharday Gray is live near the scene right now. And Sharday, you had the chance to talk with police. What new details do you have for us? Sharday, thank you for that update right there. Now, other top story this morning, strong opinions on whether or not to send kids back to school this morning. Some showed up to protest before last night's school board meeting. Some gathered by the street holding signs listing their demands. They're asking the district to delay the start of school and require masks. They also say that they want clear benchmarks for when school would close and reopen. And during the meeting, speakers range from parents who can't afford to stay home with their kids to teachers who say that they're being forced to make a decision that puts their lives at risk. None of the changes protesters were demanding were on the agenda for the meeting, and for now, the district is going to go ahead as planned. Now, staff at the University of Oklahoma are demanding classes be moved fully online, saying in-person classes will be deadly. Protesters are demanding hazard pay for essential employees and a commitment from the school to cut the salaries of higher-ups before making any layoffs or furloughs. In a statement, OU says it's reached out to all faculty and staff and asked if they felt they needed to work away from campus. They say 97% of those requests were granted and the other 3% are being worked on. And we're learning more about remote learning. It can come with challenges for many families, but more so for the families of children who have special needs. With so many schools transitioning from the classroom to the computer room, experts warn distance learning has been a disaster for children with learning disorders who rely on the help they get at school to succeed. The absence of tutors, therapists, and teachers is taking its toll on both the parents and the children. Our resources may differ from school to school, but experts suggest keeping an open dialogue with your school system and letting them know what challenges your child is facing. An update now to Pauls Valley Public Schools. They're delaying the start of their school year after someone in the district tests positive for coronavirus. School is now pushed back to August 17th. And you can see the updated calendar right now on our website, okcfox.com. And happening this weekend, the Logan County Health Department will be hosting a back-to-school shots campaign. It will start this Friday and run until next Monday, the 17th. The Health Department will be providing all required immunizations. You can make an appointment between 7:30 a.m. and 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. or walk in anytime between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. If you have any questions, you can call the Health Department at 282-3485. Happening today, Seminole could become the latest city to require masks. The City Council will be meeting tonight to discuss whether to make masks required in public places. This would affect everyone who is 7 and older. The City Council passes the mandate tonight. It will be in effect until December 31st. That Zoom meeting is happening at 6:30. And don't forget, Payne County is offering free COVID testing today. It's at the Stillwater Expo Center. It opened this morning at 7 for appointments only. And there's another free community testing site that's opening this weekend in Oklahoma City. The Oklahoma Medical Reserve Corps holding the test event Saturday at the Greater First Deliverance Temple. Drive-through and walk-up testing will be open from 8 a.m. to noon. Mass and emergency go bags will also be given out on a first-come, first-served basis. 4 Oklahoma tribes have been awarded almost $3 million from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. It's to help with assessing essential resources during the pandemic. These tribes can use the funds to support several projects on tribal lands, including construction of transitional housing for quarantining those who have tested positive, and building emergency operations center to help respond to COVID issues. And an important reminder right here, if you can, consider donating to the Oklahoma Blood Institute this week. Hospital demand for blood has grown since the pandemic began. OBI supplies 90% of the blood to Oklahoma hospitals, and Fox 25 is proud to partner with them for the Sinclair Cares Roll Up Your Sleeves campaign. Donate blood and plasma by making an appointment with them today. You can find more information on our website, okcfox.com. And in politics today, thousands of delegates and media members will not be converging on Milwaukee next week for the Democratic National Convention. Instead, there'll be a new virtual event. Caroline Shively has an update from Washington. Sticking with politics, Joe Biden's wife, Jill, says that she plans to return to teaching if she becomes the First Lady. She holds a doctorate in education and is a community college professor. She took a leave of absence this year as she's campaigning for her husband. She says that if we get into the White House, I'm going to continue to teach. Now, it would not be the first time that Jill Biden would have to balance official duties with her professional work. She taught English at Northern Virginia Community College during the 8 years her husband was vice president. Thanks, Danielle. Well, the coronavirus pandemic has been hard on many businesses across the globe, but coming up, we'll tell you which company is seeing a huge rise in profits. Welcome back. In some consumer headlines, coronavirus testing could be a must when the Royal Caribbean cruise line resumes sailing. According to USA Today, the company's CEO said that testing will likely be required before future cruises, but he did not say if it would be mandatory for both crew and passengers. Royal Caribbean is also looking into other possible safety measures down the line. They include using ultraviolet light to kill the coronavirus and modifying ships to promote social distancing. Royal Caribbean cruises have been on hold since March because of the pandemic. It is hoping its U.S. ships will be back at sea in November. And the coronavirus has devastated certain parts of the economy, like cruise lines, for instance, as well as air travel and hospitality. But one company's business is booming. That company is Foot Locker. The sneaker chain said that second quarter sales this year were much better than expected, and it will actually report a profit. Foot Locker indicated sales surged 18%. That appears to be a result of the reopening of many locations in June after coronavirus-related closures in March. And the pandemic is creating another unexpected boost in business for landscapers. Many saying the summer is usually good for sales, but this year they're better than ever. Ashley Michaels talks to a Denver landscaper about the extra green they're bringing in. And that was Ashley Michaels reporting from Denver. Those in landscaping say that business is still growing without any signs of stopping. All right, now from the grass to the water, SeaWorld lost money in its spring quarter. The theme park's number of guests declined more than 6 million from just a year ago. From mid-March to early June, all of SeaWorld's parks were closed. The company has reopened 7 of its locations with limited capacity, limited hours, and/or limited days. Attendance has recently improved, though. And finally, also on decline, the champagne industry, on track to take a $2 billion hit this year, as weddings and celebrations are canceled around the world. Jeff Flock has more from Chicago on what's happening to all those unsold bottles. Ooh, that Friday looks pretty hot. All right, thanks, Danielle. With all the extra time you're spending at home, it's the perfect time to cook up something new. And we have the perfect recipe for you coming up in today's Tasty Tuesday. Welcome to Fox 25 News at 11. I'm Wayne Stafford, and yes, we have breaking news. Several state and local law enforcement agencies are actively looking for an inmate who escaped from the Oklahoma County Jail. 2 inmates escaped, but one is still on the loose. He's been identified as 34-year-old Pablo Robledo, and the Oklahoma County Jail Trust says that this happened just before 5:30 this morning. Fox 25 Sharday Gray is live right now outside the county jail where the inmates escaped. And Sharday, you talked to the jail administrator. How do they think that these 2 inmates got out of that window? Sharday, before you go, I want to ask, do we know what areas authorities are looking for Robledo right now? All right, Sharday Gray, thank you. Live in front of the Oklahoma County Jail. Thank you very much. All right, let's head over to Stormwatch meteorologist Danielle Davis. And Danielle, we're going to see some cooler weather. All right, perfect weather at the end of work week. All right, thanks, Danielle. Our other top story today, Governor Kevin Stitt plans to use millions of dollars from the CARES Act to buy personal protective equipment for schools this year. $10 million of federal funds will be used to buy 1.7 million masks and 42,000 face shields and a few more supplies. Stitt also issued an executive order for teachers to get monthly COVID tests from the state health department. Some school districts have already rolled out plans to start the year fully or partially online. Stitt wants students back in the classrooms but supports local control. Stitt downplayed the risk of a child catching COVID-19 and says 1% of cases were in the 5 to 17 age group. Now, after that announcement, State Superintendent Joy Hoffmeister thanked the governor for his help in getting PPE to Oklahoma schools. She says it's critical that every effort be made for kids and teachers to return to school. She continues saying, quote, "The evidence is clear that face masks, along with face shields, gloves, and gowns, are crucial for that to happen." All right, some bad news, folks. For millions of unemployed Americans, the $600 federal funding unemployment assistance ends today. The U.S. Department of Labor reports that the average American will see a 65% drop in unemployment benefits. It's even worse here in Oklahoma. The average person will see a 93% reduction. All right, now this all happens as lawmakers couldn't agree on a new plan. The Senate shot down two proposals yesterday. One would have given people a $200 a week unemployment benefit. Minority Leader Chuck Schumer put a stop to that, then tried to pass the $3 trillion House stimulus plan, which was condemned by Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Then there's the Republican stimulus package, which will likely be voted on next week. That also faces opposition within the party because of other items in the bill. Congresswoman Kendra Horn voiced similar concerns, saying the Republican bill has too many pet projects like funding for defense aircraft. The Senate will reconvene on Monday at 3 p.m. And today is the deadline to register to vote or update your voter registration for the runoff primary election. You can go to the State Election Board's website, click on the voter portal, and put in your information. You can print, sign, and mail your application to your county election board. The runoff is August 25th, with early voting available the Thursday and Friday before the election. And happening right now, Congresswoman Kendra Horn is part of a virtual public health roundtable. She is discussing with 10 other panelists Oklahoma's 7-day average increases and how to move forward. Horn says that Oklahoma is still in the thick of the COVID-19 crisis with record increases in cases. She states, quote, "As Congress debates the next stimulus package, input from local health officials is paramount to help reduce the spread of COVID-19 and support our health care system and communities." The roundtable is streaming live right now on Facebook until this morning, until 11:30. I'm happy to be below average. That sounds great. Thanks, Danielle. Walmart is releasing a new app to keep workers updated on coronavirus issues, but there is a catch. Why it's not available to customers. Next. All right, could worms hold the secret to safer mask material? Medical reporter Liz Bonis shares new research that might have you swapping your face covering. My favorite part was when that caterpillar, what is that, silkworm,
yeah,
putting it together?
That was insane.
All right, love that beautiful weather. Well, let's say that you want to stay inside. Well, we've got your back. Several classic sitcoms from the 90s are making a comeback courtesy of Netflix. This week, the streaming giant announced that it is adding 7 classic African-American shows from the 1990s and early 2000s. The list includes hit shows like Sister, Sister, Moesha, and The Game. Sitcoms will all start streaming on Netflix in the weeks to come. The company shared the news on its official Twitter account for Netflix's Strong Black Lead. Now, it launched Strong Black Lead in 2018 to amplify both black content and black creators. That is amazing news to hear right there. An 80s all-female rock group is back with new music and a new biofilm. David Daniel gives you a look in this morning's Hollywood Minute. Thanks, Danielle. There's only around 700 tickets left for our St. Jude Dream Home giveaway. It's a beautiful home in Woodland Park in Edmond, valued at over $365,000. It has 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and a 3-car garage. For just $100, you can reserve your ticket to win this beautiful home. And if you reserve your ticket now, you'll be entered to win a $5,000 gift card. Call the number on your screen or go to dreamhome.org for more chances to win. All right, you've been chiming in and sending us your pics. Mia Majors sent us this photo of her family at a splash pad. Best place to be. Thanks, Mia. We want to see your photos. It's easy. Just go to our website at okcfox.com. Click on Chime In at the top of the page, then watch Fox 25, and we just might feature your beautiful photos. All right, before we go, we've probably noticed, or you probably noticed over the past 20 years, one fruit has surged in popularity. We're talking about the humble avocado, of course, which has seen its consumption quadruple in the U.S. since 2000. There's good reason to celebrate this superfruit on National Avocado Day today. Avocados are loaded with good fats that do things like improve heart health and help fight Alzheimer's. They're also packed with vitamins, and eating them keeps your skin smooth. Huh, I didn't know that. Well, I love avocados. I'll put them on anything. They are great to have always. All right, well, thanks for joining us for Fox 25 News at 11. Have a great afternoon. Get outside and enjoy this great weather. See you next time.